So last time, you guys entered you finished fighting the creature in the control room, and were able to defeat it and unlock the door, the clockwork door, which allowed you to enter a pool room. George casually strolled in, looking around, taking his time, and was dropped back at the entrance by a large watery hand that pointed towards the bottom of the pool where lots of jewels and coins were, and then proceeded to explore the pool where water elemental, and water weird both began attacking you. It was a near thing, but you were able to defeat it, and then you took a long rest. And that is where we're picking back up.
And I also stole all the gems.
And you also stole all the gems from the water, getting about
Yes.
$1,000 worth of, or 1,000 gold worth of gems
Yep.
and gold or whatever was down there. All right.
And then we went and took a nap.
Yep. And that's where we're picking back up.
All right. Okay, so water fountain room. There were fountains spitting water on either side, the big pool in the center with the gems. What
Yep.
else is in here?
Nothing. That's it.
There are no, like, visible doors or anything?
Oh, yeah. There is a door here, and a set of double doors here.
Okay, I vaguely see the double doors and the right doors. I think the
Oh,
left ones get eaten by the dynamic lighting.
okay. Let me try and move that around a little bit.
I can still see it.
Yeah, I can see it a little bit now.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Hopefully,
Oh, yeah, it's way better.
hopefully you can't see through them. Hopefully I didn't move them back too much.
No.
Yeah, I did
You
on
move the
one.
left one just a bit. I can see the crack.
The left one, yeah. Let's bring it back forward.
All right. Well, sort of standard operating procedures. I will guide and assist Veerheis, and we'll check out each of the doors.
Okay,
Maybe we can say this is happening while George was like diving down and scooping up gems.
sure. Um, are you checking for traps? Are you checking for magical things? What are we checking for?
I would think traps are the immediate priority. Oh, we lost George.
Oh,
I guess he is under the water, so we can't hear him. Yeah. Traps would be the first concern, and then I guess traps, locks, and then other items of interest in that order. Does that sound good, Veerheis?
do you guys see the big number 6 on the screen?
I do not.
Okay. Veerheist is standing right on top of it. So I was. It's just to indicate this is room number 6. So, but for whatever reason, the 6 is over top of the token for me instead of below it. Um, and when I look through other people's eyes, it appears on the screen as well. So I just wanted to make sure. George is gone again. I thought he was coming back. Anyway, what did you say you were looking for?
Traps, locks, other items of interest in that order.
Um,
I was asking Veerheist, does that sound good, or can you think of anything else we should be looking for?
Are you there, Veerheist? Aaron?
Maybe try reconnecting.
Hello?
I hear you.
Test.
I hear Colby
Oh yeah, we hear you too.
and Hayden.
I feel like Aaron's about to be like, oh, sorry, I was on mute.
Well, he says I think my mic isn't working over in
And
chat.
yep, I see it now.
That's not great.
Did Roll20 just have like a soft crash, or did I?
It seems like it's a hardware problem.
Or was it?
There's an app that I used called DroidCam that will let you run your microphone off of your phone. It'll take a second to set up, but that could be an option for a quick fix.
Huh. And it'll work through. You don't have to do a hardwire connection or anything?
No, it runs over your Wi-Fi.
Interesting.
Doobie-doo-bop, bow.
I was very upset there for a second. On my laptop, something for a cookie monitor program. Click here to activate. So I hit exit, and it just closed everything. I was just like,
Ugh.
you stupid thing.
Yes.
There we go. You're back.
Okay. It's using the camera's mic instead of my other mic. I don't know what's going on. Anyways. As long as it works.
Yep.
Yes, we were discussing checking doors and stuff.
Yep. I was thinking traps, locks, other items of interest
Yes.
in that order.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. What should he roll, DM?
Investigation.
So don't forget advantage. Yep, you got it.
Yes. Here we go.
Whew. Thank goodness for that advantage.
Man. Well, that happens sometimes.
All right. So as George is diving down into the pool and collecting all these loose coins, Aaron and Veerheis begin inspecting the doors for traps and locks, and for the most part, all three doors appear to be untrapped. And while they do have door handles and locking mechanisms, to the best of your knowledge, they are unlocked. It would seem that Lottie was fully expecting the clockwork door to keep anyone from entering this area, and became a little laxed with security after that, at least door locking wise.
Well, maybe we should just search left, right, and then go dead middle, because clearly I have more stuff to steal from Lottie, because she's rich. She wouldn't notice if I stole 1,000 gold from her. Who's with me?
Oh, I thought we already took it and put it in a bag.
Honest, pretty much. Yeah, I'm just saying since I've kind of just came done swimming as you guys opened the door or checked the door out.
So go in the left room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the left. I'm gonna open the left door.
All right.
Oh, it's a little closet.
Inside the left door. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a changing room, and it's stocked with swimsuits of different shapes and sizes for just about any humanoid creature.
So people were swimming in the pool with the water monsters?
People who threw in tokens.
Oh. They don't murder you if you pay tribute.
Is there anything special about the swimsuits?
Nope.
All
They're
right.
just-
Magical swimsuits.
it's a changing room and swimsuits.
Well, let's try door number 2.
All right.
I will
On the
wait
right.
for everyone to come over first in case this and we checked all the doors, right?
You what?
We checked all the doors, not just the one.
Checked all 3 doors, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Oh, sorry.
You are Noble 6.
I'm not Noble 6. George is, because I never took access away from him.
Ah,
Yeah, you're still getting control, so I figured I'd just move around for a bit to make your life a little easier.
Yeah, I appreciate it, because I'm definitely not even on the right layer right now. So,
See?
opening door number 2. Inside.
it's a new car.
Inside
office.
here is an office.
I feel like we should give the
doors
office
is
the
that-
same traps and shenanigans check before we poke anything.
All right. Roll another investigation check. And are there specific things you're looking for?
I'm looking into. Does the desk have drawers? Because if so, I'm snooping through our papers.
I mean, I was
There's,
thinking
Or is it,
traps before anything, and then we could maybe subdivide and look for information on the orrery, information on Lottie, and any magical knickknacks we can take.
okay. Roll an investigation.
We'll let Veerheist do the trap check with all the
Oh,
assistancing.
Yeah. So for traps, you don't find anything. No traps.
Okay then.
all right, I'm gonna investigate for papers in the drawer and try to,
Yep. There are.
see what little.
There's a desk with drawers and stuff. There are also many. There's also a bookshelf and a filing cabinet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be going through all the books and papers.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
I got some snooping to do. I got some searching to do, and I'm really good at it too.
Oh,
Jeez.
fantastic. So what you
Broke the fourth wall.
what you basically find is going through all these papers, you discover that Lottie and Lottie's palace really is not just hers. She's definitely in charge of it, but it appears that she has several other liches invested in the business. So many liches here are invested, and they're all taking part of the profit. However, with a natural 20, you
Lottie is
find,
scamming them.
yes, you find a second set of records.
Oh
One that
gosh.
discloses that she's hiding the true profits that they're making and keeping a larger portion for herself.
Well, that seems like something we should take.
You got blackmail on her now.
Yes, you do, which could be very useful.
Huh.
I mean, and if we happen to steal all those profits on the way out,
Right.
she has. She can't go tell her partners, like, oh no, they took all the profits I was hiding from you. Any interesting magical knickknacks?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Moving right along.
But that's the other game.
What?
So moving right along. that'd
Oh,
be the
yeah,
other-
yeah, that's true.
All right. So opening the other doors.
Yeah, again, waiting for folks to kind of get out and get into positions.
Oh,
Battle formation.
sure. There we go.
It seems pointless till we open one of these doors and it's immediate combat.
Right.
All right. Opening this door. There's a hallway.
Already.
Let me get back to the right layer. So I don't know if you can see, but there's another set of double doors right in front of you. Is there no, there's not a door there. Yeah, so there's a double set of doors in front of you. If you go down the hallway this way, you can see a door there. And you can see a door to your immediate right. I might have to move that.
I know the door to the immediate right is to the office that we were just
Yeah.
snooping in.
Yep.
And the door to the left, I'm guessing, is the changing room.
Yep. And then there's more.
The hallway is actually too small to go down as well.
Yep. And then there's more down the hallway.
So it seems like it's whatever it is past the office. Do I notice anything coming down this hallway with my crazy perception?
Nope.
But there's also another set of double doors right here.
Yes, there's a set of double doors directly in front of you.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see where this hallway leads before we open anything else up.
All right. So from there, you see a door right here.
Does that look like it
Oh, it's
goes
to
into
the
the
kitchen.
kitchen? Yeah.
What's that?
I mean, just looking at the space, it seems like it probably goes to the kitchen, right?
Probably.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone for now.
Yeah, I don't really care.
All right, let's try this door.
All right. All right. So as you approach the double doors, you notice once again that they are large and clockwork. Um, and whether by magic or some mechanism, they actually open on their own as you get closer, revealing a large and luxurious room decorated with fine art, rich carpets, several leather couches, and a boardroom table. Crystal balls sitting on pedestals around the room flicker and glow, and a huge fish tank swarms with unusual creatures. Some of them are even alive. And let me show you what that looks like. Here you go. Giving you an idea. In addition to all that, you can't help but notice that sitting around the room are 9 liches.
Ah,
And they are all
huh.
quite surprised
This
to see you. Some of them are lounging around, others are arguing at a table. They all wear leisure suits or sundresses, including one that's sitting pretty comfortably with a little dog in her lap. And as you walk into the room, one of them at the conference table stands up, and it is Lottie, who looks like this.
Hmm.
And is very surprised to see you alive uh, after facing her mechanical whatever it was beer.
Oh,
um,
yes, the before we fought the water elementals, yes.
yeah. How do you proceed?
Sorry, we were looking for the bathroom.
or do we go?
That was
But
clearly Mark.
more like, oh, hey, Lottie, you had a lot of obstacles in the way, and we just really want to talk to you about some special things. And you're playing really hard to get, but I'm just so glad we were able to finally get to you and meet you face to face in person. How's that sound?
Yeah, works for me.
Obstacles. I've placed no obstacles in the way of here. No traps.
The mechanical worm thing?
You call them traps. I call them
That was
obstacles.
to protect
They've
the
all been
power.
overcome.
That was the the mechanical worm thing, as you so put it, was placed in the mechanics chamber to protect it from being tampered with.
Oh,
Okay, we were
it
just
might
trying
have
to
been
we were trying to
tampered
find
with a
you,
little.
and we picked the wrong door, and it attacked us. So it's an obstacle. We overcame it to come see you, and then
We
come
talked
into
to your hologram.
into your fountain room.
Yep.
The water worm, and the water spirit, they too got a
They were
little
bad at
testy with us.
communicating, to be fair, because they tried to tell us, but
Yeah,
we didn't speak pantomime.
they're not good at communicating, and that's maybe my fault for not reading the signs, without the lack of signs. But again, it was another obstacle, but we overcame it, and we just come see you.
It was very important.
And what exactly do you want?
Was that
We
hologram
just
we
want
talked
to talk
to not
more
you?
about you.
It was. It was me.
Okay, so we've already kind of told her some of what we were here for.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, and I told you that destroying the Ori is impossible.
Uh,
You're right. So would it just be better for us to go give it to the black staff and let them have it?
Um, at that, a few of the other liches kind of perk up, overhearing your conversation as you're kind of shouting across the room. Um, Lottie, the destruction of the world would, in fact, be bad for business. Um, a lot of them seem to have information or a little bit of knowledge themselves as to what's going on in the world, with the orrery and everything like that. And she calms down a little bit at their remarks. True. Uh, Business is good right now, and we don't want to disrupt that. But still, the fact remains: the orrery cannot be destroyed.
So what do we do?
I mean, I think there's a large gap between destroyed forever versus like rendered such that it can't be reassembled for thousands of years. And maybe the
Like
first one isn't
hidden.
possible, but the second one feels pretty doable.
Yeah. Or at least like another 100 years so it's past my lifetime, then it's not my problem.
Ah, you, sir, have the makings of a lich. That is exactly our philosophy. Our only problem is we live forever.
Oh, well, that doesn't make it difficult.
But yes, we very
I have
much think,
far more long-term plans.
yeah, we very much believe in not our problem. We're beyond most things. But the destruction of the world, that is quite a conundrum.
We could hide the pieces in other dimensions, whatever they're called. I don't know.
Interesting.
I mean, we could just hide them here
And you
as
all,
well.
your group, you have the ability to traverse the plains.
Uh,
You're
do we?
telling me that
Yeah,
this
no.
room full of 10 liches can't come up with something better than letting the interns over here figure this out?
Oh, we're on a retreat. We're on vacation. We don't work here.
When will you be back in the office?
Who knows?
I mean,
20,
they
30
kind of have
years?
forever to live.
Mm,
We
A
we
year
live forever.
vacation,
We're in no
a
rush.
1,000.
I mean, I guess if the world got destroyed, that would kind of cut your vacation short, though.
Hmm.
Um,
Aaron, it's like I'm thinking, man, we might screwed up. We probably didn't have long-term goals. Like, what was the goal of meeting Lottie besides getting the other Ori piece so we can build the Ori ourselves?
Well, I mean,
Clearly, she's no help.
I think the expectation is first and foremost just to keep it out of the hands of the Six, because we know they don't have good intentions with it. But even if we can't do it ourselves, we definitely know people who can.
all the liches kind of perk up at that. And who are these people?
Can I make a history check if Ack Inc. has ever had an issue with liches?
You can, but I don't know. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say no.
Okay, So if we say that we're with Ack Inc., we're not gonna like, you know,
No.
because presumably like like Jim is probably
Yeah.
a fairly high level caster. So is Omen.
Yeah. No. It doesn't say anything in here about, at the very least, any of these liches having a history with Ack Inc.
I mean, there's also the actual. So are the people we're dealing with are called the Six. The Blackstaff is the arch mage protector of
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep, and we
Yes.
have met her and could. She seems like someone who would have both power and incentive to not let the world be destroyed.
Yep.
Like it feels like throwing throwing an indestructible like artifact of destruction and all of its pieces into a cosmic void would just be like a Thursday for her.
So, you tell her these things?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if
Okay.
if that's her primary complaint is that there's nothing we can do, I think saying that we could coordinate with the Black Staff, for example, to see to it that they are nearly impossible to retrieve would at least be a step forward.
Yep. Um, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Am I making it, or is George making it with my assistance?
No assistance needed since it's already at advantage.
I know. I want it to be rolled with his bonus. Oh, hey, jeez. All right. Well, we've added them to our franchise now. Congratulations, you work for Ack Inc.
Honestly, not far from it. Um, these liches, all of them, are as it has been slightly clued in. Uh, they like making a profit, and based on your description of Ack Inc., they would be very interested in potentially partnering with you with Ack Inc. Um, to make more money for everyone involved. Uh, they're always looking for new clientele, and they are, after all, very powerful uh, mages. Perhaps they could, over time, supply you with magical items or knowledge of sorts. Um, so, yes, while they're not part of your franchise, they are definitely interested in a potential partnership with Ag Inc.
They're in the Rolodex now.
Yeah. Um, in addition, you have convinced Lottie that you will not use the orrery for selfish purposes, that you are, in fact, trying to, uh, if not destroy it, at least keep it out of the wrong hands. And she will present you with the the final, not the final piece, as the six still have one, but with the final piece, with her piece, we'll say. She leaves the table, walks into this room over here. There's a doorway there, um, and comes back out and presents it to you. Um, magic items, field stars. There you go. That is now yours. Huzzah!
Nice. Jeez. That's a really good item. Well, what do I have attuned? age-old question. All right. Well, we've got the item. So we should definitely assume that. I mean, we are now the target.
Yes.
Likely.
Do you talk with them at all about what's been happening, or are you like with the orrery, or are you playing it a lot closer to the vest?
I mean, just the fact that people are after it.
Well, I think that part's a
Our
given.
process.
Are you telling them who and basically recounting your adventures, or no?
I mean, does it seem like there's any reason not to?
I would say, yeah.
The only thing I don't love is that this place clearly is like built on magic, on like gambling drug magic, which has me a little bit concerned in the long term. But the flip side is they're not like, you know, they don't seem to be like actively sacrificing babies or anything.
Eating people's souls.
Well, about that,
Oh,
roll arcane, or roll arcana, and everybody can do that.
the rolls are back, baby.
Nope. I forgot to turn off things.
Well, we better be sure to have Noble 6 roll. That we're playing the odds, guys.
Right.
Yeah. And George too.
There we go.
There we go.
Jeez. That's
I rolled twice in a
Twice in
row.
a row, yeah. That's
So,
impressive.
George, I don't know if it's your paladin background or your warlock patron, but somehow you do have a little bit of knowledge of a lot of the undead and whatnot, which liches are, and by nature, in order to continue to survive, liches do in fact need to basically eat the souls of still living creatures.
Oh gosh.
That is how they gain their nourishment. It doesn't appear that they are currently doing this,
Hmm.
and you don't know how often they do it or anything like that. But it is the known
Hmm.
food source, for lack of a better word.
Right.
That is what liches eat.
Do we have a sense of the amount and the frequency?
I can look it up, especially with a natural 20. Let's go to monsters.
I mean, I'm just thinking we can probably find 6 really bad people a year or 10 really bad people
Yeah, that's what I
a
was,
year.
I was going to ask them. Yeah, I was like, what kind of souls do you
Like,
guys
but
eat?
also, like, couldn't this also like work into the fact that didn't we try to make a deal with lizard folk to bring them bodies for certain like
Oh yeah, we did.
But
Yeah.
specifically, we were going to bring them bodies that we purchased,
Right.
like from surviving family.
So what you're saying is because we're gonna be making a lot of money, we could just ship off 10 people, like have them on a quest to come here, and then the lichers kind of kill them, and then
Well, I was thinking
they
more
get-
about
they see-
like awful people like the 6 who, we know have directly killed like what, over 100 people since we started all this.
yeah, probably.
And that's just the people we know of. Like,
does not say how often they have to eat, unless I'm just missing it.
I thought it was just that their phylactery had to stay in order.
Here's exactly what it says. Just says periodically.
I mean, I don't know. Personally, I feel like I can come up with well, we know for sure there are 6 very evil people who are going to be coming for this. I don't mind. I don't mind feeding them. Like,
Right?
You only know 2.
well, we know they're called the 6th. It would be wild if there are. I mean, you would assume there could be more than 6, but if there are less than 6, that's really wild.
And yeah, you only know of 2 at the moment.
We are the 6, give or take.
So yeah, it doesn't say how often. Just says periodically. So I'm going to assume more than once a year, but probably not every day. As every day, liches would I feel like really start to decimate a population.
So yeah, this person's theory was that they get life from the lifespan of the person. So like a younger person would provide them with more sustenance than an old person.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Well, I was under the impression that a lot of liches are like hide off in, in very isolated places, sometimes
they're very
for
yeah.
a very
I
long
think
time.
I think typically speaking, in a normal campaign, that would be correct. But this is Ack Inc., and they twist everything.
Yes.
So I think this is just the fact that there are 9 together and seemingly running a business. I think is definitely more of an Ack Inc. thing than a normal Lich thing.
Right.
And that they're on vacation.
Yes, they're vacationing.
Well, 8 of them are on vacation. Lottie is actually hosting this time. And if you were to ask her about it, you would determine that she's really not happy about it. She doesn't want them here. But she drew the short straw this time.
Oh, they take turns hosting
Yep.
at the phylactery or whatever.
I am curious about that because there is. Well, I don't know if they exist in 5e. In older editions, there are good aligned liches called Baelnorns. Or Baelorns?
What are they called?
Oh, hold on. If you Google elf liches, you'll probably get it. Baelnorns, yeah. Looks like they're not in 5e yet.
Actually, I was going to look it up, but yeah, they are not in any of the monster manuals that I own on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, they're not in 5e.
Yeah.
Looks like they last showed up in 4th. But anywho, I'm perfectly willing to file that under problem for another day.
Right.
Because a lich is like what? Like a CR like 15, 17, something like that?
Does it say? CR 21.
21! Yeah, and there's 9 of them?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is...
No, that would, yeah.
Yeah. This encounter in this, if we were to fight in this room, this would be like the boss battle after like the real boss battle, where like the secret boss that you have to be like max level for and have like all of the secret weapons.
You collect all the and you have like some secret strategy to beat them or
What's the symbol mean?
I'm going to cast Vanish on all the liches, and then I'm going to use Revive.
Oh, that's probably legendary. That's probably an L, not a clock, and it probably
Oh
stands
yeah,
for legendary.
yeah.
There
Oh,
was like a little circle with like a point, well, a capital L, and I thought it was a clock. And I was like, why is that on there?
But yeah,
But it,
so we'll. I'm willing to say we just bump this issue up the chain.
yeah. Yeah, you can talk to somebody that has more. Yeah.
This is, I mean, Omen is what, like a level 15, level 20 cleric or something.
he's a paladin.
Oh, I thought he was a cleric.
Paladin. I'm
Oh.
99% sure. We'll find out. Omendron.
His class features seem to make him a war priest, like a war cleric.
Yeah, I thought he was a paladin for some reason, but yeah, there.
Although I also have to assume that the stat block I'm looking at is not accurate because it makes him a CR5.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the stat block I have in the official thing is not overly impressive.
Yeah, I mean we could take him. It would probably mean all of us, but we could take him.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if it would take all of us.
Yeah, he's he doesn't. Yeah, I'm gonna go with definitely not a paladin because his charisma is not very high, but his wisdom is, so he
Yeah.
probably is a cleric.
But anywho, yeah, we'll file this under his problem for now. If we could, and maybe that could be part of what we do for them. Maybe that's our deal: is that we figure out a less, uh, a less cruddy way to stay alive.
All right. So no other pertinent questions for the liches?
Um, and I guess we could ask: do they have any immediate recommendations as, powerful arcane spellcasters on ways to make these very hard to retrieve?
Um, they would putting them on different planes, as you suggested, is a very good start. Um, and they would say they don't put anything in here actually about what they would say, but they would probably say that whoever helps you would be able to put some pretty solid traps on the area magically. Um, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to have somebody put some physical traps as well, just to throw
Yeah.
everybody off. And there's also if you were to put it in, say, an anti-magic field, or or some spells that may make it untrackable. Those would all be pretty smart things to do.
Do they have any form of assistance that they would like to offer?
Nah,
Something.
they're on vacation.
Well, I was just gonna say something paltry to them, like literally like a trinket they have in their pocket, might be super valuable to us.
Uh, Nothing is listed as being on them. I don't. I mean, I'll check to make sure, but let's. I don't think any of them have anything. They're, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I don't necessarily know that. So Lottie is just sure there's no way to get rid of it, right? As the creator, she has no special insight.
No, that's why she broke it into pieces and scattered them because she
What?
couldn't destroy it. It became too powerful. She created it with some intentions. She doesn't remember what it was, but
Didn't realize it'd be indestructible.
yeah, it ended up being way too powerful. She broke it up into pieces, and because she couldn't destroy it, and yeah.
So if it gets constructed or re-put back together, it's not like instantaneous. It
Oh
destroys everything.
no, the six, they'll tell you that uh, if you mention the six, they'll tell you that the six putting it together won't end the world by any means, but it will give people
The power.
power, like a lot of power. And the six in particular, we're hoping to collect it in order to open a portal somewhere,
Mm,
whether to go somewhere or to let something in. They're not sure. Um,
but it doesn't sound good.
it does not. And Lottie and the other liches pool their knowledge and come to the conclusion that the six can probably do it with just a single piece,
Oh.
um, and that they are ultimately trying to cast this ritual magic. But it would have been a lot easier had they obtained some of the other pieces. So yes, the six are still trying to complete this ritual.
I am. I hate to do it because they're such good items, but I almost kind of feel like we should do something to like get rid of the pieces we have before we try and go after them for the last piece.
So they don't get them from us.
Yeah.
Like that one fight where they kept
Yeah,
stealing.
I was not amused by the methods, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, those things were really important.
So will that be the end of it then? Gonna leave Lottie's palace?
Um, we didn't really have anything else we were trying to do here, right?
No, not really.
I don't feel like
I mean,
blackmailing her is a good plan, so.
you could still go gamble.
Eh. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll cash out the 40 tokens I have on the way out.
All right.
They're what, 5 each?
Yes. I think that's what I said.
Wait,
What?
I've got it
Well,
written
not what
down.
I said, but what this said.
Hmm.
Oh, apparently I didn't write it down.
Um, you can get a delicious meal for 3 tokens.
I
Um,
am certainly not eating or drinking anything here.
yes,
Wild rules apply.
each token costs 5 GP.
Yep, I'm gonna cash that out and let's peace out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we still have that stupid airship to drive back and fight the pirates again.
No, you drive it back. No fighting of the pirates necessary.
I mean, also it's got its own crew, right?
Yeah. I don't think any of them died. Yeah, you guys
Like
kept everyone alive.
theoretically, we could just be like, "I peace, guys," and walk through the door and go
Right.
home.
They could take the ship back themselves.
Um, actually, I think it makes sense to uh, keep our door attached to the ship, and so the ship can make its way back to Waterdeep, and then we can pop out in Waterdeep to um, was it Waterdeep or Neverwinter?
Your door connects to Fandolin.
No. But I mean, like where the main office is.
Oh,
Oh,
where the ship
Neverwinter.
would go
Isn't
back
it-
to.
Neverwinter.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, that'll give us then an exit into Neverwinter, so we can go ahead and go home and plan and figure out next steps. But also, once the ship arrives, we can hop out and go check in the main office.
All right.
Because I mean, I definitely think, I mean, it's been a while and our interaction was not super substantial, but getting a hold of what is it? I know she's the Black Staff.
Oh,
I want to say like Thalia or something.
her
Oh,
name.
nope, I'm totally wrong. Vajra Safar?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not that we know her super well, but I feel like all we need to say is, hey, we have 6 components of a world ending artifact that we need to get rid of in a hurry. And that would probably be enough to get her attention. But that being said, it's also possible that ACK Inc. will have a more immediate connection for us.
All right. So for now, though, back to Fandolin.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, you guys are now level 6. Huzzah!
Yeah. My AC goes up again.
F.
Let's see if the level
Now me and
lancer
Aaron will.
actually works. Soul of the Forge.
So yeah, Hayden, if you could let Harry know that he needs to level up at some point, that would be awesome. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I could do it for him. I don't know if he has any decisions to make at 6 or not.
Level
I have
6
no idea.
Barbarian. I think he gets his new subclass feature.
So, but no decision to make.
I don't think so.
I can do it for him then.
Yeah, it's just path feature. He gets another use of rage, and now his ancestral guardians can like
Yeah,
reduce damage to other people too.
yeah, that's a nice ability.
Yep, we are never taking damage again, guys.
oh man. I can learn 2 more infusions.
And George, you were going to go Paladin 5, right?
Yeah.
Extra attack. Oh, and level 2 spells. That'll be nice.
Yeah, if Noble 6 is raging, and somebody he can see within 30 feet of him takes damage, he can use his reaction to reduce the damage by 2d6.
Second
There's no
level
way.
Paladin
Like
spells
me and Aaron.
are weird.
What's that?
Second level Paladin spells are weird.
All you do is use them to smite anyway.
I mean, that's really what it looks like. They're like not great spells. Aid is good, but I can already cast Aid.
On how many people?
I mean, it's only 3, but
You can upcast it.
let's look at Artificer. Level 6. Tool expertise. Oh boy. Oh, actually, you get a new infused item. That's pretty awesome.
You get 2, I guess.
Well, you probably get 2 new. Yeah, you get 2 new infusions known, but you can infuse an extra item at a time
Okay.
now.
Okay, yeah.
Fine steed. You can always have a horse, George. Lesser restoration's not bad. Locate object could be real useful in finding the orrery. And who could forget Zone of Truth? Zone of Truth is fantastic.
The Zone of Truth.
What new spell?
Yeah, for 10 minutes, anybody in the 15-foot sphere can't lie.
If they don't pass the saving throw is the thing.
Sure. But if they pass the saving throw, the caster is aware of it.
Right, but also you might have just wasted your second level spell slot to.
True. But if you tell people you're going to cast it and to intentionally fail, and then they don't, you know they're trying to lie to you.
Let's see here.
Yeah, the branding smite is definitely not great.
It feels like it's supposed to have the same effect as Fairy Fire, but then it doesn't have the most important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess this is helpful. Verheis, you have expertise on all your tool checks now, which would include thieves' tools for like disarming traps.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to manually do the spells, I think, because of all the extra ones added. It can't. It's like it's not figuring out. It says I have 11 of 5 spells chosen or something like that, and it's because of the other.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many spells I'm supposed to be able to add at this level for real. I gotta have to look through and see which ones
Find
are.
out.
On a different note, CJ, I'm not crazy. I found my draft for my Time Monk.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Let's see here. How do you learn? Does an artificer have his entire spell list and he chooses them daily?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Well, I thought so. Could be wrong. Let's see.
I thought it was like on each level up I could choose spells, but
Well, you have a certain number of
Yeah.
slots.
Yeah,
and
you're a prepared caster, not a known spells caster.
okay.
So yeah, you
So
can
that means-
you can change your list anytime you long rest.
Yeah, so you have access to all your level 6. So you have access to second level spells?
Yeah. What's your intelligence modifier?
Where's that? 2.
All right, then you can have 5 spells. You can know
Total.
5 spells plus what you get from being an artillerist.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's like, and like I think I have one from like a magic item or something, and
Yeah, you should have 9. And then I don't know, the other 2 must come from an item.
also yeah, because I know dark vision comes from my goggles, and long strider comes from the timepiece of travel. Yeah, and then I think everything else must be.
Yeah, so you basically have access to all the artificer spells second level and first and second level right now.
Okay.
You just have to choose
Which
every
ones I
time
want.
every time you do a long rest, you can choose from that list of spells
Okay.
what
Which
5
ones do you want? Yeah.
you want to have for the day.
What's the on here? What's the easy? Would it be like just go to the compendium and look them up, and then
If you're on D&D Beyond, that would probably be the easiest way to look for them.
true.
And go to game rules and then there's spells, and you can hit Artificer spell.
So I think on here I can go to category spells and then filter the results. Let's see.
I mean,
Yeah, I can select Artificer.
I'm looking at your spells or your piece
Yeah,
your
my
character
sheet.
sheet right now, and so basically everything on there. So
And
you
are
didn't.
cantrips separate from the others, or
Yes.
Yeah, cantrips are a whole separate thing.
okay? So 4 cantrips is what I would be having, I guess. For
So really, I don't think you need to do anything on this particular character sheet.
okay,
Um,
unless I decide I want to change my known
yeah,
spells, whatever. Yeah.
right. Why is it? Yeah, so basically, right now it's asking you if you want to if you want to take spells away and add new spells, which you don't have to do.
Yeah, no, I don't have any ideas right now, so yeah. Although I think my cantrips also, that's right, never mind. The cantrips were from like feats or something. I have like 1 or 2 extra ones that.
Those are the original level 3 features I wrote for the Time Monk. I guess the Time Monk's closer to done than I thought. So, because Hayden, you wanted to play the Time Monk, right?
I think so. Yeah.
You have to promise not to kill yourself with the upper level abilities, okay?
Once you get there.
Okay. Before we get into that, uh, one final thing, we're going to skip a lot of role play and asking questions and whatnot for a moment, so that I can ask you what I need to prepare for next week.
Right.
um, the
Beach episode in the Feywild.
we're going to assume you get back and you talk with Omen and stuff like that, and you we'll worry about the what happens with the orrery and everything next. What's important to know is that Omen is very impressed with you guys. Um, and he's taking the threat of the six and the power. He's taking this threat very seriously, and he is sending lots of franchises out to help investigate this. No one really knows where the ritual site is, but they're trying to find it. Um, he will tell you that they have they want to send people to Candlekeep. Um, Mantle Dareth.
Are we about to jump sideways into another campaign?
Nope. Here he says here in Neverwinter, but Neverwinter is a large place. Having more assistance wouldn't be bad. Um, Crypt Garden Forest, and the Moonglade. In addition, um, team the C team, one of the higher up teams in ACK Inc., has gone missing.
Uh-oh.
They were in a place called Red Larch,
Oh.
which is, Aaron, you would know this as a ACK Inc. fanboy to an extent. Red Larch is the hometown of Omendron himself. So basically, I want to know what you guys want to do next week so I know which of these places to prepare.
So if we advance C team, does that mean we get to move up to be the new C team as well?
If they're dead, that wouldn't be a bad assumption.
But if they're alive and we rescue them, they actually were doing better than C team. So we
Maybe you'll become the B team.
The Plan B team.
well, B team's not dead.
So this isn't the first time people have heard of the Six, right? They're like a recurring antagonist.
My understanding is that the Six are a recurring antagonist in the actual ACK Inc. play game. How much of the Six's stuff gets? I'm trying to like in the main storyline with Omen and Jim and whatnot. The Six are recurring, and they have definitely dealt with the Six. The other teams like C Team and stuff like that, I'm not sure if they've dealt with it. If that makes any sense. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Rest to say that Omen definitely knows about them. That's all I can say with certainty.
Well, the reason I was asking is I wonder if they are obsessive enough that they would put themselves in proximity to ACK Inc. or to, their sort of history just because they have, like weird Batman syndrome brain, Batman villain
So,
syndrome. Which would lean me towards Neverwinter or Red Larch.
so here is a Reddit thread about, and I'll post the important information. Um, yeah, so that's a Reddit thread from 5 years ago. I'll link the thread too. But that's everything that I can find without spoiling a lot of stuff for this campaign, because I don't know what to. Yeah. But yeah, you want to know if they have like. Would you ask Omen about the six? I would assume. Um, he would. He would probably. Wow. Would he know? Yeah, he would if you guys don't have any particular reason to choose one area over the other, he would personally urge you to go to Red Larch. Um, he knows that over the last few years, T because I should have just read a little bit further along and I would have seen this, but that the C team has been has had a few dealings with the six in the past, and them going missing when all of this is going down would indicate that it's likely the six had something to do with it.
Yeah, I don't have any particular vibe of like why any of the other places.
Well, there would have if we had role played more. Basically, those are places that a ritual could have. They're places with magical energy and blah 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 storytelling reasons why ritual magic might work here. Um,
Blah blah blah. Story MacGuffin.
yeah, different places where a very powerful ritual could essentially take place for various reasons. Um, but yeah, Omen would urge you to go to Red Larch.
So it feels like Ack Inc. would be the kind of company that would have like uh, recovered a deadly magical MacGuffin like finder's bonus or something.
Yeah, probably.
Seems like maybe since we've done such a good job and we've emphasis on job and we've not really been paid for it the last two times, maybe Omen could hook us up with something.
Um, what exactly are you looking for? Because I think the agreement was that most of your most of your pay would come from the jobs you do, and that you would send them franchise fees.
Right, but he has
So
specifically pulled us out of our
right. So what
area.
exactly are you looking for? I guess is my question.
Um, I gotta think how specific I'm going to be
Are you
here.
wanting money? Are you what are you wanting?
I mean, money's always good. If they have any, he's a cleric. If he has any hand-me-down cleric magic items. I would take an Amulet of the Devout +2.
Um, oh, come on. How about we so you're wanting maybe magic items. How about we discuss it next week when I have time to look into it a little more? Because I
Sure.
don't know what he has access to. I'm assuming a lot.
I would think
Um,
so.
but I'm looking even like on the Acking wiki page, it doesn't list any of his
Hmm.
like personal items.
I mean, that was
So
just my Russell. Sorry, Russell doesn't want to take his medicine and is running away from Chelsea. Go to the bedroom. Go to the bedroom. You will find no quarter here. Go. It's his
Get a good
allergy
boy.
medicine, and it's wrapped in
Oh,
a treat.
no.
Even my allergy medicine doesn't come wrapped in a treat.
So yeah, we'll say next week we will discuss what he might give you to assist, and you will be heading to Red Larch. Is that what we've agreed on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And if there's anything else you want to ask him or whatever, we can discuss it or role play it out next week. I just need to know what to prepare next week. So with that, we can go back to talking about the monk.
Oh, yes.
All right. So the Iron Body and the Falling Stars are already built. One thing that you should think about with all the monks, so to give you an idea of the framework, I will put some proper nouns on it soon, but basically the structure of this is going to be that your characters are convening once every 10 years to participate in this like special like celestial event kind of thing. And it's always vaguely in the form of like a challenge or competition that has to be overcome, and it draws together all the different sort of martial factions. And the idea is that because we're going to be bouncing around so that you all can try the class features at different levels, basically you'll get together, and depending on what race you pick, this could be wonky, but you'll get together at like in your teens, in your 20s, 30s, and then 40s. And in between each tournament, we'll kind of go, everyone will kind of go off their own way. And
But we'll be on a team when we're together.
yes. And you could theoretically do stuff together in between as well if you wanted to. But what I would say is like think about what if your character has any specific goals. Because basically what you'll be doing in between is you'll have the chance to train, to go on sort of adventures, to go find rare like special medicines or magical, not magical, but special medicines, magic items, to seek out new trainers, new masters, or to recover ancient techniques. And basically, it'll give you a way to kind of kit yourself out with extra stuff between each session. And so to think through kind of what your character would be interested in. And just to give you sort of some context, the Iron Body monks usually hire themselves out as mercenaries. So that might be something to sort of pursue, at least during some of your sort of breaks. You might also have to go into sort of mercenary type situations to go track down like Iron Body masters who can teach you new abilities. Way of Falling Stars. Probably during your first break, you'll have to go find a falling star meteor shard. It's like a rite of passage. So hunting those down. There's also some mysteriousness about the origins of the Way of Falling Stars that you could look into. And of course, sort of the same deal. Find magic items, techniques, etc. And honestly, the Way of Flowing Rivers is not entirely done yet. So I don't know what the deal is. The abilities I have sketched out so far. Ironically, I have levels 6, 11, and 17 figured out, but not level 3. So at level 6, when you use the Step of the Wind feature, you can teleport instead of walking. And that's a certain number of times per day, unless you want to spend extra key to do it. At level 11, you can take 2 levels of exhaustion to take an extra turn. So just like full-blown like action, bonus action movement. And the exhaustion doesn't start until after the turn is over. But the flip side is, exhaustion is real bad and takes a while to fix.
The first level's not awful.
Right, but at level 11, it's 2 levels of exhaustion for the first use.
Oh.
At level 17, that'll drop down to 1 level of exhaustion. I might include some more ribbon features in there. And obviously there's some cool techniques that'll come along the way. I'm still sort of working out the level 3 version, or the level 3 technique. I shouldn't use technique, feature. And I have 2 different versions, and one is probably too powerful. I don't know. CJ, what did you think about what I posted? Did that seem more balanced for the Flurry of Blows one?
Yeah, because the movement, I forget what it was, but whatever you had before, I feel like 2 of those abilities were combined.
Yeah, the okay, so sort of so the other, what I'd written the other one, until the start of its next turn, the affected target's speed is halved, and it can't use reactions. So that's kind of like the first one, but a little bit less powerful. And then it says on its turn, it can use either an action or a bonus action, not both. Regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't make more than 1 melee or range attack during its turn. I feel like that's... Yeah, I feel like the original works better.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is you sent me the first time, but what you have listed here seems good.
Do you think that reaction ability is fair? Because it costs key, and it uses the reaction, so it's only once a turn. When you are hit by a melee attack, you can spend 1 key point to use your reaction to force the attacking creature to re-roll. They must use the second result. If the resulting roll is a miss, you can also make one unarmed strike against them.
Wait, what? Where's that listed?
I posted them. I sent them back to back.
Oh, I need to scroll up a little more. So they would get both of these features at...
I could possibly move them around. It just feels like a Time Monk should have a re-roll ability somewhere.
Yeah. And the other thing, the second one you sent with the 3 different options, it doesn't require any key.
Well, it's part of Flurry. They're all part of Flurry of Blows.
Gotcha. So the first one would require an extra point of key.
The first one is a point of key and a reaction, so it'd automatically be limited to once per turn.
Yeah, I think that's fine. That's what playtesting's for, right?
Yeah. So my plan is to run this for you all, and then once I have it sort of ironed out, to start turning it into an adventure, and then to do a second round of playtesting, potentially with like random folks who have shown interest on Twitter, just to sort of see how it goes with people I don't know.
Sure. And like I said, I could always ask the other people I've played with if they want to.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We do have at least one person joining us, so if everyone's there, we'll be up to 5 for this upcoming one. He's going to play the Master of Many Styles, which I got really cool art for. I was really worried because I commissioned art for the Way of Flowing Rivers, which I'm concerned is not going to be done on time. I'm supposed to get the line art tomorrow, and then work out the cost and delivery for like the full color whatever. But Master of Many Styles will come out this Tuesday, and then Way of Flowing Rivers will theoretically come out the following Tuesday.
Real quick, can you go back and tell me what the background of the iron body again?
Yeah. Let's pull it up. The Iron Body clan did not begin as the relatively esteemed martial tradition it is today. Instead, it arose from a chance encounter. A young rebel and bandit quite literally bumped into an old master, finding himself flung away by the master's incredible physical strength and internal energy. This accidental exchange of force led to a discipleship that transformed the young bandit into a folk hero of lore and legend. Though they are now an established martial institution, the Iron Body clan retains much of the same wildness and open spirit that marked their founding. Initiates of the clan hone their bodies to the peak of human durability. I need to change that word. Humanoid durability. Through muscle training and repeated injury. Though it has a brutal physicality, much of the Iron Body art is meditative, learning to suffuse the body with spiritual energy. Fortified in such a way, the body and mind can endure exceptional violence. Tutelage under the Iron Body Masters is open to anyone who is willing to endure the physical and spiritual difficulties of the training. For those who can endure the grueling training, iron body training is frequently a path to a better life. Many disciples still enter as bandits and thieves, but find themselves elevated to a position of respect and prestige for their suffering. The central headquarters of the Iron Body clan is a large fortified campus, as much a mercenary fortress as a place of martial learning. Iron Body disciples and elders are highly coveted as escorts and bodyguards, and those seeking their services are nearly always present on site. No force has ever successfully breached the Iron Body clan's fortress, and legends still circulate of Iron Body masters enduring even alchemical and magical explosives, only to return their power as thunderous waves of destructive energy.
Didn't you say something before about mercenaries?
Yes.
What was that?
Oh, well, I mean, that's the stuff they do. So when I say escorts and bodyguards, like they're
Okay, so
hired
they're-
out for like a job.
They're not like assassins.
No,
Gotcha.
you might hire them to like come join you in a fight. Basically, a lot of it would be like, we have a shipment of such and such cargo going from town A to town B, passing through the dangerous blah 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 mountains. And
Gotcha.
so Iron Body disciples would go with them.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll over the course of the week, I'll probably text you some
Yeah,
to determine how a Warforged, I couldn't think of the word, would fit in with that.
yeah. Something else that might be helpful too is because they're out there as mercenaries, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to find like how does he connect, like they're everywhere. Like you could be out in a village somewhere and a bunch of punks are just like trying to beat you to death and you just deal with it. And like
Yeah.
the trainer for the local militia walks by and is an Iron Body senior and goes, "Oh, that that Warforged has potential," and recruits you and blah blah blah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how Warforged in general would fit into your narrative.
Hmm.
So just wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep it a little. I'm trying to keep it both with touches of the sort of high fantasy martial arts setting, but also a little bit more broad than that.
Yeah.
So, like, some of the martial traditions will be like, like Western European duelist schools and knights and things like that.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go like super genre hardcore, a common set of abilities is puppet mastery. It's like an esoteric, high level sort of magic in these settings. And you could just literally be a puppet that has become sentient. And when I say puppet, I don't mean just like a little marionette. I mean like
Yeah.
more like war robots, literally.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, I was just in. Like I didn't have any prior knowledge to the school or what you had determined as their background,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just operating off of the thought that I may have been specifically built to be one of these things.
Yeah.
Um, but if there's
It would also be really funny if you were like literally a training dummy,
yeah,
like, and you just absorbed so much internal and spiritual energy from getting hit for like decades, and eventually you became conscious and you were just watching them do all this martial arts for years and years before you finally became mobile and verbal.
Actually, I think that's exactly what we'll do. I think that's fantastic.
uh, um, so yeah, I've still got to figure out the way of flowing rivers a little bit more. What was it that Harry said?
I don't know what he said, but I know we discussed what we thought he would probably want.
I mean, if nascent giant feels right, but
Yeah.
because if Joe is running mini styles, you're doing Iron Body, Aaron's doing Falling Stars, George is doing Flowing Rivers. That leaves Zen Archer, Nascent Giant, and Razor Mind. I feel like he said Razor Mind for some reason.
Who's Joe?
Joe is from my Monday game.
Oh, and he'll be joining us for this one?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha.
Yep, he's going to do the Master of Many Styles. I'm going to send you all this cover because I'm just so pleased with this art. I had to spend so much time looking because DM's Guild has art that you can license, but but like there's only so much of it, and so sometimes like you want something specific and it's very hard to find. And in this case, this picture was buried in a collection of images. So I had to like go through and open all of these collections to figure out what to do. And it's perfect because one of the Master of Many Styles has 4 styles they can switch between. And one of the styles is Tiger style.
Oh, nice.
And because they're based on the four Guardian Beasts, it's specifically the White Tiger style. And I was
Nice.
like, oh, that's perfect. Also, I hadn't really hardly read any like normal actual novels in a while. And I decided to reread that martial arts series, CJ.
Yeah.
And I read the first three 3 1/3 books in about 2 days.
Dang.
So I've read about 1900 pages.
That's a lot.
Yeah, turns out I forgot I really like reading, and I don't just have to read trashy manga all the time. That being said, I have read some really good trashy manga. It's actually, well, I say trashy. It's actually really good. If you're wanting to get into the vibe, I recommend. Let me find the list here. Oh. Let's see. Legend of the Northern Blade is incredibly good. Well, although I guess this being said, I always read these with like a super hardcore ad blocker turned on because there are so many ads.
Oh, you read them.
Yeah, because there's no there's not translations for a lot of these.
All right.
There's more that are good, but I've been reading so many of them, it's hard to find them on my list. Oh, that's a good one. Some of these are on Webtoons. Return of the Mad Demon. Reincarnated as an unruly heir. I think those are the only ones on here. There's one that I really like, except the premise makes me so irritated. There's no reason for it. It's this like intense like high fantasy martial arts story about this kid who is like in this basically he's in like an evil, he's on like the, usually the way these stories are set up, there's like they're usually called the orthodox, the unorthodox, and the demon martial artists. And he is in the camp of the demon martial artists, who are sort of particularly whatever. And he's awful, and he's about to be killed because he's like the bastard, one of the bastard heirs of like the ruler of their whole faction. And in this, bear in mind, everything after this point is very like martial arts. It's all about techniques and like magic elixirs and factions and all this stuff. The story starts with him almost dying, and his descendant from the distant high-tech sci-fi future shows up and injects him with a bunch of nanites. And then you never hear about it again. He never says anything else about it, just moves on. And it's like, that doesn't perplex you in any way? You're just, okay, whatever.
That is quite strange, but
Yeah. There's another one where, for no apparent reason, the story starts with like a guy in the real world whose life sucks. And then I don't even remember, because somehow he like jumps to a similar but different alternate reality where magic is real. And almost everything else is still the same. And they never address it ever again. In like, I think like 1,000 chapters, they have never mentioned it again. It's like, how do you not care about that? Like, it seems important. All right. Um,
Mm.
oh, also, I will say it a million times. Even if even if you don't want to actually write a review yet, on DM's Guild, just go click 5 stars and everything.
Right. Yeah, I
It's
did one, and then I didn't get around to doing the other ones. But yeah.
it will it will make my life infinitely better. Because I definitely get it. Like, there is so much garbage on here.
Mm.
There was a title listed for $15
All right, I
that,
remember you mentioned.
yeah, that had a typo in the name on the cover, and the inside looked not good from the
Yeah,
preview.
it did not look worth $15, anyways.
Yeah. And I have trouble imagining that, you know, I feel like people would just get where it's like, yeah, I don't really trust anything I see on there. Not enough to pay money for it.
I don't even know how to give reviews on there.
If you go,
I think if you go to each individual one,
also if you go to your account, up
Yeah.
at the top, there's a
oh,
thing in red
that's
that
right.
says all titles awaiting my review.
That's right. Yeah,
Um,
I keep forgetting. What's the name of the website?
DM's Guild,
That
DMSGUILD.
there we go. Yeah,
It's
that
very
autofill.
confusing because it's really the same website as Drive Through RPG.
Oh, yeah. I noticed they had a bunch of links to other stuff on the left side or whatever that advertising all the other stuff. Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff on here that I didn't realize came from here.
Hmm. Was there a way to make these in D&D Beyond, like if you're creating a character sheet or whatever?
I don't know how to do it in D&D Beyond, but I was able to make my Iron Monk in Roll20,
Okay.
at least third level. I
Yeah,
have,
I can probably program them eventually. Right now, I'm just trying to get them all published.
Right.
yeah,
I should be able to program them into D&D Beyond.
yeah,
As it looks
the
like you can do, yeah, the homebrew thing. You just have to choose like a subclass as a template, and then I think maybe you customize it after that. But yeah.
Yeah, I've
yeah.
I've made some before on there. The only problem is that you have to code everything.
Well,
Oh.
that's what I was gonna tell you. If you want to do it into D&D Beyond, I totally get it. But as far if you just want to be able to play with them quickly, it's pretty
Mhm.
easy in Roll20.
Ah.
Well,
Especially if you have the text already written out.
Hmm.
Um, like for instance, on my Iron Body monk, there is like their unarmored defense uses the con and wisdom instead of dex and wisdom, and there's just a little, you go to their settings page or whatever, and there's a little bar that you just click and drag down. Oh, I want it to use this instead of that.
Huh.
Stuff like that, because a lot of the stuff you don't doesn't actually get programmed. It's like, or at least for mine, it was use apply disadvantage on their next attack, and that's just something I'd have to remember to mark on the person, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, mostly it's just that I need to go through and even on D&D Beyond, it won't be too terrible. It's partially
Yeah.
just that the coding language is not always super intuitive. Like some of it's pretty easy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The nice thing is I can just paste all the information in. That's handy.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Is when I made it, when I did it on mine, there were only a few things I had to code or whatever, but it was real easy because they were just basically drop down menus of what to use. Because I was just changing what was already there rather than adding new language. And then most of the other stuff was just copy paste as new abilities. And if there were like, and I would imagine like with the spell, like if they get spells or anything, you just drag and drop it over to the sheet and tell it how many times you get to use it or whatever. But yeah, I don't know how to do it in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, it's pretty doable. Mostly it's just finding like sometimes they don't exactly work the way you're anticipating, but I think it'll be worth doing because my plan in the long run is to come back and run this to run this multiple times, maybe in the summer as like short campaigns. I think also the way I'm going to try and design it is with a lot of like random event tables so that like it doesn't ever play the same way
Hmm.
more than once. Like you could even theoretically play like a legacy game where you could play through as like one kind of monk and then pick up with a new apprentice in a different school, 20 years later. So the stuff you did in the past now becomes like the legends that inspire this next generation and or creates the horrible problems that will ruin their lives and force them to become adventurers. I guess my way of flowing rivers is basically done. I might see if I can fold this together. I've been trying to give them all little ribbon abilities, if it makes sense. Like Way of Falling Stars always knows which way north is. Um, Iron Body already gets a lot of really cool stuff at level 3, so I didn't worry about it.
Of course.
I mean, you get like extra
I'm
extra armor
joking.
and toughness for free at level 1. It's a consolation prize for the subclasses that didn't get two awesome features. I also put a lot of extra stuff on the techniques, like little things. Like there's a iron body technique called the 18 bowls, and once you learn it, if you have it sort of set, you have advantage on saving throws that result from alcohol, and saving throws against the frightened condition. If you succeed on a saving throw against either condition, you gain 5 temporary hit points.
Hmm.
It's not necessarily strong enough to make it like a class feature,
Yeah.
but I thought it'd be interesting to have the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have something Purple Shoulder Retort. You are immune to the grappled condition. When a creature attempts to grapple, push, or pull you, they must make a strength saving throw against your key save DC. On a failure, they take bludgeoning damage equal to one roll of your martial arts die and are knocked back 10 feet.
Hmm.
That's an uncommon technique. And you can only ever have a number of techniques memorized at a time equal to your proficiency bonus. Or proficiency, yeah, it's bonus. Everyone says modifier, but it's always bonus. Because it can't be negative. That was a weird realization that I had.
Yeah.
Because someone was like, I don't understand why everything else is a modifier, and that's called a bonus.
Well, I guess technically it still is a modifier, but it would never be negative. So it's always just a bonus
Right.
or even. Well, no, it's never even. It's always a bonus. You
Yeah.
start off with +2.
Right. Something else this little side campaign will do is I need to make more like generic magic items and techniques. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that has to do with ki. Oh, so like to give you an example of the kind of thing you might go looking for between tournaments would be like a special making a special potion that like only a powerful master alchemist can make that requires super rare ingredients, but if you drink it your max ki goes up by 2 permanently.
Yeah, extra key is always nice.
Yep. There's one ability that I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it in a way that's not ridiculous. But I kind of like the idea of like a Jackie Chan style technique where you can always deal damage of any creature of a type that any creature within 5 feet of you can deal. To represent like instead of just punching someone in the face, you grab them and like throw them on their ally's sword or something.
It would be interesting to take maybe a lot of the drunken monk abilities and modify them to where it's more of a lucky monk.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, that's on my list too, is to do like reskins for all of these. Because like Iron Body could easily be like rune magic,
yeah,
like defensive tattoos. Way of Falling Stars. Sometimes you see that in anime. It's a whole trope of like arrow magic,
Mhm.
like literally like arrows, like directional arrows that like throw people around. trying to figure out what the TV trope is called.
No.
Shoot, what's one? I know there's one in Soul Eater. Vector Arrow.
Oh yeah, I guess Wizards of the Coast is buying D&D Beyond or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how it's going to shake out in the long run.
That's why I'm not sure. Like, is anything going to change, or is it just going to be kind of like a behind the scenes thing that you won't really notice much? But yeah,
I mean, based on everything I've read and seen, I haven't looked into it super deep.
Mhm.
But for D&D Beyond, I don't think anything will really change. People are hopeful that if you buy a physical book, you'll get a code to get a discount on the PDFs now,
That
which
could
is something they couldn't do before.
yeah,
But as far as D&D Beyond goes, it doesn't seem like anything will change.
Well, one of the
Um,
questions that's been raised is what it might do for copyright of homebrew content.
Ooh, that's a good thing to think about. But also, in addition, the with D&D having a dice roller, or D&D Beyond having a dice roller, there's people are speculating that they might be creating their own tabletop
Yes,
whatever.
that's borderline been confirmed.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know how
So
good that will be or how quickly it
right,
will come around. So
it might like be in competition with Roll20 then at that point.
yeah,
Yeah.
Roll
Yeah.
20, Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, all those other virtual tabletops um, might either become more expensive for like to purchase D&D stuff,
Mm,
or might stop getting access to them at all, or maybe nothing will change in
yeah.
the slightest. No one's really sure about that, but it's
Yeah, some people are
also,
wondering about the Roll20, how it would be affected by it. But yeah,
yeah, no one's really sure yet. Um, and again, none of that will happen. Like nothing will really matter until D&D Beyond comes out with that virtual tabletop.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and also
Assuming they do.
there's a however long the licenses still last too.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's some of that too. Yeah, it might be a few
I mean, I
months or
almost wonder
years.
if it'll be more of a if it would be less about actively taking away the license and more about just making it so convenient to use
Mhm.
the sort of integrated D&D stuff that it sort of chokes them over time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it
In
wouldn't
my
be. It might not be
opinion,
anything direct. It'd just be more of a competition thing. That
yeah. In my opinion, it would be dumb for them to remove the licensing completely,
Yeah.
yeah,
because they're still making money off of it, even if it's
yeah,
not as much money.
Yeah.
I would hope that they would just try to make their
their version.
program
Yeah,
better for D&D specifically,
Well, and I think it
because
would
with
scare people about online purchases in general.
it would what?
Mhm.
Like, I think a lot of people are nervous about buying digital copies in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if they start like de-licensing things,
yeah.
they might accidentally cut out their
Make people.
own market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It seems like it'd be a bad marketing choice to
And the other, like Roll 20 and Foundry and everything will still have uh still have customers because they'll be able to do other tabletop games,
Yeah.
whereas D&D Beyond will only do D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people, they'll want the other. Yeah.
Yeah, you can play
top stuff.
on
Yeah.
on Roll20. You can play Pathfinder. You can play
Yeah.
Monster of the Week. You can play
Yeah. Monster of the
basically
Week ran really well.
On what?
Roll20.
Oh, really?
Didn't you play?
Monster of the Week virtually? Maybe we did. I
Yeah,
forgot.
it was like a couple weeks
I
ago.
remember playing it in person, but I don't remember. Yeah, that's right. We did a little. I forgot about that.
Yeah, one day we will finish that stupid one shot.
Yeah, right.
I ran a different one shot on there, and the some of the built-in interfaces and things were really nice. All right, well, I guess I'm going to get off here and finish up some monks.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
You
Be
know.
sure to like, subscribe, and review Monks on DM's Guild.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
See ya.